So we read that his feet was like brass, right? Look at this guy's feet. Is his feet like brass? My sister, is his feet like brass? Look at his feet. Is his feet like brass? So somebody taught us another Jesus, right? And what did he receive? Read.
Or if he received another spirit.
So with that Jesus that we received, right? We received this Jesus and we receive another spirit, right? That's not of the Bible. Now, guess what we believe in? We believe in Christmas is Jesus' birthday. We believe that everybody can be saved. We believe things that are not in the Bible. That's not this guy. You see what I'm saying? Watch this. This is what we now believe in Jesus. Watch this.
The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 4. For if he that cometh preacheth another Jesus.
It says if there comes somebody that preaches another Jesus. Watch this. Have we been taught a Jesus that's not in the Bible? Look at this picture. Have we been taught a Jesus that's not in the Bible? Yeah. So somebody came and taught us another Jesus. What comes with that?
Whom we have not preached.
Whom the people in the Bible did not preach. They didn't preach that Jesus looked like this. Now look at this. We read that his feet was like brass. My sister right here. My sister right here. Oh, you got your ride going? Your ride? You about to leave? So we read that his feet was like brass, right? Look at this guy's feet. Is his feet like brass? My sister, is his feet like brass? Look at his feet. Is his feet like brass? No. So somebody taught us another Jesus, right? And what did you receive? Read.
Or if he received another spirit.
So with that Jesus that we received, right? We received this Jesus and we receive another spirit, right? That's not of the Bible. Now, guess what we believe in? We believe in Christmas is Jesus' birthday. Right. We believe that everybody can be saved. We believe things that are not in the Bible.
We believe we different.
You actually, that's a good point. You believe, right? What are you, Hispanic? What kind of Hispanic are you?
Mexican.
Are you? Are you Mexican?
Well, half and half. Mexican and white, but
Mexican and white. What's your father?
White.
He's white, right? So we believe that the Hispanics and the blacks are different people. Why do we believe that? Somebody taught us that. Right. Somebody taught us that. Wait a minute. Hispanics were enslaved.
In Mexico, they have Mexican black people, and they ignore them.
But even if they're light skinned, right? Like my brother right here, right? And then the sister that just walked off. Even if they're light skinned, are their fathers not these people that were enslaved? They were enslaved. Think about it. There's a lot of black people that's really, really light skinned. With straight hair. Those are Mexicans. Black Mexicans are light skinned people with straight hair. That's it. But they still black. Because their fathers were black. You understand? It doesn't change because of the way they look right now.
Right.
It doesn't change. I live right there by Jamestown. It's a whole lot of Mexicans that look just like me and you. Some of their kids come out looking like him.
Yep.
You understand? So now we don't disregard him because look, he's light skinned. No. He's still my brother. That makes sense?
Because they always compare to Mexicans as being black too.
They are. They don't like to be compared to be black, but we gonna tell them the truth. Mexicans is black.
Just like Egypt.
Right. Well, think about it. When in Egypt, guess what? In Egypt, the people were black, right? What were the status of the people of our people in Egypt? What were we in Egypt?
I don't know exactly what we were, but I know we wasn't accepted, but because of the evolution of different marriages made them lighter, so they don't know that history.
So watch this. In Egypt, right? The people, what did Moses tell Pharaoh? For his people. He says, let So what were they?
Black.
They were black. Well, what were they? They were slaves.
Oh, okay, yeah.
They were slaves. I want to show you something, right? Because Moses delivered the children of Israel out of Egypt, right? But right after he delivered them out of Egypt, he told them this. Give me Deuteronomy 28:48.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 48.
Uh-huh.
Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies.
It says, he said, therefore, oh, my bad, jump to 68, not 48. 68. Give me that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
What?
Egypt again.
It says, now, Moses had just delivered them out of Egypt. He says, the Lord is going to deliver you into Egypt again. Where were they in Egypt again?
Slaves.
Slaves. He said, look, if you don't keep God's commandments, you're going into slavery again. But how this time? How?
With ships.
Well, you going to go into slavery how?
With ships.
But this time, you're not going to go in the physical land of Egypt. You're going to go into spiritual Egypt, but you're going to go on ships now. Hold on, wait a minute.
Right.
This is your history
That's
in the
right.
Bible.
That's right.
This is your people
That's right.
in the Bible. Because you are the children of Israel.
That's right. Bring it
That were
out.
delivered out of Egypt.
Bring it out.
And God says if we don't keep his commandments, that we would come into this place. How?
With ships.
With what?
With ships.
With ships. We got to realize who we are according to the Bible. Right? Think about it. There's a whole lot of black people on the earth. But God is speaking to the Israelites.
Right.
Right? He's not just speaking to black people. He's speaking to the Israelites. Like how you got Chinese and then you got Japanese. They're two different people. Right? You got white folks over here in America. You got white folks in Russia. You got white folks. But guess what? They don't classify themselves as the same people. Guess what? You are the children of Israel. So now watch this, because we haven't understood who we are according to the Bible, right? Because we didn't understand that, right? What do they call us here in America? Huh? You said they called us Judah. What did America call us?
Oh, African American.
African Americans.
Right.
But we are Judah, right? You got Haitians, they're Levi. You got Jamaicans, they're Benjamin. You got Puerto Ricans, that's Ephraim. You understand? You got Manasseh, which are called Cubans today.
Right.
You got Dominicans, which are Simeon. You got Zebulon, which is Guatemala to Panama. All of these tribes are the children of Israel. You understand?
So we all come from one country.
Right.
We all come from this man.
That's right.
We all come from this man, who God sent his royal lineage through. You understand? So now when we think about it, right? Give me Matthew chapter 15 and verse 24. When we think about it, right? We were always taught that Jesus came for everybody on the face of the planet, right? That's what we were taught. But remember, when they told you this lie, they had to tell you another one. They had to keep telling
That's
you.
right.
Watch this.
The book of Matthew, chapter 15, verse 24.
Uh-huh.
But he answered and said, I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Wait a minute. Jesus the Christ, the black Messiah, the man that looks like you, said what?
I am not sent, but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
He says, I'm only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Why do he call them lost? Because here in America, they're called what? African what?
American.
They're called Mexicans, Jamaicans, Haitians, Puerto Ricans, Cubans. You see what I'm saying? Seminole Indians, American Indians. Look at this brother right here. This brother, look at this brother right here. This brother is a Seminole Indian. He's Indian, but you never think that. You be like, he's black.
He black.
That's what you think. My brother right here, he's American Indian, but you never think that. How you doing, my brother? What's your name?
He didn't know slave ships was in the Bible.
You didn't know the slave ships was in the Bible? Hey, my sister, didn't we just read that? Now watch this. I want to show you. I want to show you again. Watch this. Now, we know this to be true, right? We know that this happened to our people. This is how we got over here. Some of us was already here, right? But we know that a lot of us, millions of us, came over here by this way of transportation, correct? Right? You know this to be true, right? This is the history that we know that's true, right? Our grandmothers told it to us. Grandfathers told it to us. I know my grandmama told me that. Yeah. She understood. She knew. Right? Watch this. Stand right here. Give me Deuteronomy 28:68.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
It says, the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again. Now, the landmass Egypt, right? We know that's at the north part of Africa, right? But what does the word Egypt mean? You don't know? Watch this. The word Egypt has a definition in the Bible, right? And the word Egypt comes from a Greek word. It's a Greek word stemming from a Hebrew word named Mizraim. But watch what God says it means. You got that?
Exodus chapter 20, verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
Out of what?
The land of Egypt.
Now it's going to tell you what Egypt means.
Out of the house of bondage.
What does Egypt mean?
Bondage.
What does Egypt mean?
House of bondage.
Guess what? What are you looking at right here? Are these people in bondage? So when God says, I'm going to send you into Egypt again, I'm going to send you into bondage again, right? Let's read it again.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Bondage or slavery. Read.
With ships.
How are we going into slavery?
With ships.
How are we going into bondage?
With ships.
How are we going into Egypt?
With ships.
Is that your history written in the Bible?
Bring it out.
That's your history.
What?
Well, who was he talking to? Was he talking? Turn that sign one more time. Hey, pay attention. Hey, Jabez.
Sir.
Turn that sign one more time. Sir. Was he talking to African Americans? Was he talking to Jamaicans? You said yeah, right? Now that's what we're called today, but that ain't what God called it. Right? Give me Deuteronomy chapter 1 and verse 1. What God called it?
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
Unto who?
All Israel.
No African Americans.
Israel.
No Jamaicans.
Israel.
No Haitians.
All Israel.
God was speaking to the Israelites. He
right.
was talking to us
That's right.
at that time. But we
Read
don't
it
know
out.
ourselves as the Israelites. When you fill out an application, you say I'm African American.
Right.
And you don't ask no questions where that came from. How did we come to be called that? What that means? Because look, the word Africa, I'm going to show you something. It's going to blow your mind. The word Africa comes from a white man.
That's right.
The word Africa comes from a white man named Leocipius Africanus. That's what the word Africa comes from. Now the word America comes from another white man named Americo Vespucci. How can you be African American with the name of two white men? How can you be African American?
Right.
It does not make any sense. You cannot be African American because you are the children of Israel. That's why.
Black American.
You said black American, right? Your t-shirt black. That's the color. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what it is? We sleep, but we gotta wake up. We have to wake up. We're walking sleep. Nobody has ever asked the question. Read it again. 1 and 1.
Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 1.
Who is God talking to?
These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel.
So when you read your history in the Bible, who was God talking to?
Israel.
Who was God talking to?
All Israel.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
He's won! He's won!